Alright, good day everyone. So today we're gonna do another unboxing video. And this time it's gonna be the SH Figuarts Shin Ultraman. But before we begin, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get the latest updates from the hobbyist. So yeah. So again, this is Shin Ultraman. This is gonna be based on the latest Ultraman movie that's coming out in Japan. It's supposed to be released sometime 2021, but due to the pandemic and all the things that are going on in the world, they had to reschedule it. And I heard it's gonna be released sometime 2022, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, this is what the box looks like. So at the front, it's not really a big box, to be honest. It's quite small, but yeah. So this is what the box looks like. It has a matte red color Tamashii Nations quality sticker at top. Then you had those Tamashii Nations Bandai branding information on the bottom, and then on top, SH Figuarts Ultraman. On the side, there is a picture of the figure and some branding information. On the other side, another picture of the figure, different coloration. Really neat box, to be honest. And then on the back, you'll see a small window with the peephole, so for you to see the actual figure and some of the poses that the figure can do. Special ray pose, and then this simple style heroic action pose. But anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and open up this figure. Okay, so the figure comes with 3 extra pairs of hands. So we have the fist hands, then we have the cupped hands, and then we have the Special Ray pose hands, or the karate chop hands. And then on the figure is a relaxed hand as well. But that's it. Basically, that's it. So we have the figure, and then we have 3 extra pairs of hands. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the figure. Okay, so first let's look at the sculpt and the paint application. So I've heard a lot of bad stories about the paint application. Mine is basically no exception. So you will see a lot of paint chippings here and there. But yeah, so there are some inconsistencies on how the paint was applied on the body. On the head, mine is actually pretty good. I loved how they painted the face on mine, except on the back of the head there's like a little nick on the paint, or maybe that's a bubble when they applied it. But anyway, again, if you know me and if you've been watching our channel, any imperfection in the paint application isn't really much of a deal breaker for me. More important for me is the sculpt and how durable the figure is, and basically the articulation. So in this one, I have to say I'm very impressed with the colors that they've used for the figure. So it's basically a matte red and a very shiny silver on the rest of the body. So and basically, if this was really painted worse than what it is and what they're claiming it to be, it's not gonna appear that flawless on camera. It's really shiny. It's really out of this world, to be honest. And I don't know if it's just my figure or everybody else's figure, but this one for me is really good. The paint is really good. There are some paint chippings here and there. I mean, you can see there's also one on the red part right here, but yeah, overall, I like how it looks. It's just really a good looking figure, to be honest. But anyway, so yeah, that's the paint application. And then in terms of the sculpt was made really well. You can see the collarbones on Ultraman, and you know, this is a different sculpt. It looks more alien, to be honest, than human. But how they made it, based on the trailer, based on the stills that came out from the movie, it's really good. They made a spectacular sculpt for the figure. Some things that might appear a bit awkward, of course, because of the design of the figure. I mean, because of the design of Ultraman, but not really the fault of the figure. Is, you know, it's gonna become misaligned, you know, the paints and all that, and it's because it goes through from one joint to another, like here on the knees, as you can see. But the nice thing about it is, you can see here on the knees, even if you move the knees, there's still paint that's gonna follow through that movement, so it still looks more fluid. Although yeah, there are some paint chippings here and there, but yeah, how they designed it. And you know, if you're dealing with an action figure, and if you're gonna move the action figure that much, you know, chances are it's really gonna have paint chippings here and there for you. But out of the bat, this one really looks nice. So yeah, for me, it's really, I still feel that this is a good figure. But yeah, there are really paint chippings all over the figure. So yeah, if you are concerned about those things, and if you're not really gonna customize it, or if you're not comfortable painting your own figures, then I do suggest you look the other way. Now let's go ahead and discuss the articulation on this figure. Okay, so in terms of articulation, the head moves up and down. So it moves up this far, not that much, but it can move up that much, and then it could move down that much. Not a lot of movement on the head, but it's connected by a ball joint. And then the neck can move down, it actually can look down, but because of the sculpt of the head, it's really limiting how you can move the head down. But it moves down that far, and then you look up. Anyway, the arms move all the way around. The right arm on mine, the left arm on mine seems a bit loose, so I think it has something wrong with the joint. But yeah, it feels like it's connected a bit loose. And then the chest moves down that far, moves up that far, then rocks side to side as well. The elbows, they are a hinge and a swivel combo, so it moves all the way around. And double ended hinges to close, to do that pose as well. And then on the wrist, so they have a ball joint. So yeah, on the waist there's also a ball joint, moves side to side, moves back to that far, moves down that far. Then there is a swivel, thigh swivels, something that I really don't agree with. I feel like their original release of having these as ball joints are much better compared to the thigh swivels. so it's kind of limiting the motion. And then there is a hinge on the crotch. So yeah, in terms of motion, yeah, I mean, you could argue that it would make for a better sculpt because it looks better. But in terms of articulation, I feel like their earlier release is much better than this one. And then you have double hinge knees as well. So the knees can do that. And then there's a swivel on the ankles. And then a hinge on the toe. The usual hinge on the toe. So yeah. So that's it for the articulation basically on this figure. So before we go ahead and look at the final thoughts on this figure, let's go ahead and compare this figure with the other figures that you might have in your collection. Okay, so this is how SH Figuarts Shin Ultraman stack up against the other figures that I have. So here we have the Ultra Act Ultraman, and then on my right is the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Black. So Shin Ultraman scale somewhere in between these two. The SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Black comes in at around 6 inches. So Shin Ultraman is around 6 1/4, while the Ultra Act Ultraman stands up at around 6.5, a little over 6.5 inches tall. So yeah, somewhere in between. It's a nice scale. It still works with your Godzilla figures and some of the other kaijus that you might have in your collection. Although I feel like I'm leaning towards the 6.5 scale if you're gonna collect those 6-inch figures. So for me, I'm leaning towards the scale of the Ultra Act Ultraman here. Anyway, final thoughts about the figure. I really love the sculpt that they've done, and the color the color scheme that they did on this Ultraman is really nice. If you can compare it, I mean comparing it with the Ultra Act Ultraman here, I feel like you can just see the colors on this one is really much better, a little less too toyish compared to this one. But in terms of articulation, I love that it has a swivel on they kept the swivel on the elbows, but there are some hits and misses here and there. I feel like they've done a bad job on mine, at least on the shoulder joints, and I'm not really much of a fan of how they did the torso area of this latest SH Figuarts figure. I feel like they have an awesome articulation going on with them with the older releases, like how they did the torso on the Ultra Act Ultraman, wherein it's basically two joints or two ball joints connected together. It still gives you a wide range of motion. Yes, you could say that it looks awkward when it's doing that pose, but in terms of durability per se, this is a much older figure, and yet it still held its own. So I feel like this is already a good design and something that's worth keeping. So I really don't understand why they had to go this route. I know that it's probably nicer in person. It looks much more cleaner, if you will, than how to implement this joint. But yeah, overall, you have to know how to manipulate the joints more on this design compared to this one, and chances are you're gonna ruin the paint more. You might even chip the sculpt because of it. So yeah, but for the price, this is around $50 if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, with the accessories that come with it, so it has 3 sets of hands, 3 extra pairs of hands, which is probably what you could ask for this figure. And part of the reason there is, since they haven't released the movie yet, there is no final we're really in the dark as to what accessories this figure is still gonna have, or this Ultraman is still gonna have. So, and I think they're really very secretive, and they're making sure that none of those spoilers come out from the movie, so they haven't really included anything on the initial release of this figure. But anyway, so yeah, that's one of the considerations sorry, that you want to think about, is probably when the movie comes out, another Shin Ultraman figure will be released by SH Figuarts, and it's gonna come with more accessories. Its design is probably gonna be different and whatnot. So yeah, if you're like an avid Ultraman collector that really has to have all of the releases of Ultraman figures, then I think you should buy this because it's an initial release. But if you could wait, and it's probably gonna happen, they're probably gonna release another figure with an updated list of accessories to come with the figure, even probably a better sculpt. So if that's something that you could do, then I would suggest that you wait for a later figure compared to this one. So yeah. Okay, so before we end this video, I just want to do a quick shout out to Hydrazilla98, Custom Clone Corner, River, Snakes or Shakes Inc., Mr. Godzilla Stop Motion, Justin Rosa, Kevin, Daniel SW, Stylish Serene Feline, Donald Gonzalez, C Pony Channel, Vlad Kosak, YT Godzilla XT Gaming, Y Squill, and Joel Dakanay. Guys, thank you for supporting our channel as usual. And if you guys want to be included on the next list of shoutouts, all you need to do again is just drop us a comment down below, hit on that subscribe button and the notification bell to get the latest updates from us, and we will shout out your name on the next video. So yeah, I guess that's it for me, folks. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.